I'm Lucretia Lanningham. I'm a birth doula, doula mentor, massage therapist, a naturopathic practitioner, lymphatic drainage practitioner, as well as Ayurvedic postpartum, and a whole host of things that I can do. And today, I'm here to talk to you about nutrition during your pregnancy. So for many moms, a big focus is water. And the hard part is that in Texas specifically, as well as most of the southern states, getting enough hydration in the summertime is really hard because we're so dehydrated. But also in the winter, as the temperatures cool off, sometimes we back off on some of the intake, and I want you to keep it up. So what you need to do is take your body weight, divide it by 2, and that's the minimum amount of ounces that you need a day. And once you start breastfeeding, if that's your goal, you're going to have to keep it up or possibly even increase. Along with water, another goal is to be getting enough protein. Protein is essential. It is the building block for all of those cells for your new little one. So getting enough is essential. And what you need is the upwards of 70 grams a day. And that's a lot. If you've ever paid attention to how many grams are in an egg and a steak and all of your different sources of protein, you need to get a lot. So 70 grams might mean that you have a protein source at each meal, and you might need a protein shake between meals or before bed. So finding your protein source that you like. And for all of my vegans and vegetarians, you can still do it too. This one happens to be a plant-based protein, but 1 scoop of this is 20 grams. So 20 grams there, and if you need an extra little boost, another favorite is collagen. And collagen, 2 scoops of this get you another 20 grams. So if you did 2 scoops here and 1 scoop of the protein in a smoothie or a shake in between meals or for a meal, that's 40 grams right there. So that will help you a ton. Collagen is also fairly flavorless, so you can add this powder into soups and teas. And if you're having a glass of coffee or a cup of coffee, like add it in there so you can really boost your protein intake. And that's going to help. It also makes for healthy kidneys, and that's going to make your placenta happy too. So make sure you're getting lots and lots of protein in there. One thing that they don't tell you in most health classes is that women tend to need more minerals and men tend to need more vitamins. But in pregnancy, that's going to be doubly so. So my advice would be to really focus on the ones that you need the most. A lot of times what I find is magnesium is essential during pregnancy. It can help you sleep better. It can help bowel movements. It can help with any of those crazy muscle spasms and aches that you can get in pregnancy. And it can also keep early contractions at bay. So there's lots of different options for magnesium. Natural Calm is a local brand that it kind of fizzes up. If you've ever taken Emergency and you add your water and it gets all fizzy, this is going to do the same thing because of the citric acid that's in it, but it's a good option. One that my nutritionist recommended to me was this Garden of Life version, and this one doesn't have as much of a fizz to it, and it's much easier on the digestive tract. So if you've tried a magnesium that has upset your stomach before, try something like this. And then you can also go with just a capsule. So if you don't want to make it a drink, there's plenty of capsule options out there. I happen to take magnesium glycinate, but if you have questions about which magnesium to take, certainly hit me up with your questions. I'm happy to answer those. With our other minerals that we need as women, I would focus on calcium, which your highest source is going to be in beets or dark green leafy vegetables, which is also going to give you some vitamin K. So go for those. And also just to know you don't necessarily absorb that much calcium from dairy. Even though that's what you hear all the time, dairy actually, while it itself has a lot of calcium, it doesn't necessarily give you calcium. Your body can't absorb it the same way that it needs. So go for the dark leafy greens instead. Other things, iron. So a really good source of iron is in those dark leafy greens, because what makes vegetables and all of our grass and all of our plants green? Chlorophyll. And you can actually find chlorophyll in tablets. I take this liquid form from Nature's Sunshine. It has a little spearmint in it, so it's got a nice little tingly to it. Also, it's a natural deodorizer. So who doesn't need that? Chlorophyll, it's a good option. It's going to help boost your iron, and boosting your iron is going to give you a little bit more energy. It's going to make you feel like you've got a little bit more gumption in your day-to-day business. And another thing to focus on is going to be iodine and folate. So both of those minerals are going to help all of your body functions, all of your hormone function, as well as your nervous system. So iodine and folate. And so many of us are dealing with MTHFR these days, and making sure that you're getting folate instead of folic acid is going to really benefit your nervous system. So make that switch if you can, and take a look on your prenatals and make sure that you've got folate on there. And while so many of us concentrate heavily on what to do for the birth, there needs to be a concentration on what to do postpartum as well. And while all of these things can help to have a good postpartum as well, I also want to just introduce a couple of ideas for your postpartum menus to make sure that you are feeling good after you've welcomed your baby during your 4th trimester. So instead of having a heavy concentration on protein, I want you to kind of shift that a little bit. And you may stick with your plant-based proteins, but meat, like animal proteins, are a little harder on your body to digest. And truthfully, your digestive system slows down almost to a halt in labor. So we want to slowly build that system back up and generate your chi and your fire again. A way to do that is to eat things that are easily digestible. Focus on soups and warm foods that as you take that bite in, you can feel it warm your body from the inside. So concentrate on those things. Teas, soups, nice brothy meals are excellent for postpartum. Another thing to think about is adding some oils in, or some healthy fats. Those are going to boost baby's nervous system, give them a little bit of brain and nervous system support, as well as your nervous system, and to help ground you a little bit. For those of you that are also concerned about that first bowel movement after having a baby, increasing your oils can soften your stools and make that a little bit easier as well. So if you're making a soup, add in some extra oil, throw in a chopped avocado on top, have some handful of nuts while you're breastfeeding. All of those things are going to help you too. It's been wonderful sitting with you today and giving you a little bit of a knowledge of what I have in my head. But if you have any other questions, feel free to send me your questions, and I'm happy to answer them for you. If you're so inclined, reach out, like my pages, and follow along, because I'm always sharing little recipes and tips and tricks for maintaining and living well. I hope to see you soon.